Hey guys, it's Leon, the Alumni Director here at Evolutions. Very honored to be here this morning with Emily, who was also one of our alumni speakers from last night. By the way, we have this alumni speaker meeting every Wednesday at 7 p.m., so make sure you check that out. So I asked Emily to feature in this video today. I guess, what we spoke about is like how you went from being a street savage to a recovery savage. So you want to tell them more about that?
My name's Emily. I'm a grateful recovering addict. So I come in on April the 19th of this year. That was my second time at Evolutions. When I come in, I was very, very hood, very ghetto, a fast talker, master manipulator. When I was back home in Arkansas, I was literally a savage. I didn't give a fuck who you were. I was gonna take everything you had if I wanted it. I really didn't give a damn about myself or anybody else. All I cared about was the drugs and the money, and mentally that'll mess you up. The day that I come in, I remember Leon telling me, you're not gonna be a street savage no more, you're gonna be a recovery savage, and it stuck. I started taking everything that I knew from the streets and all the patience that I had, everything that gave me strength out there, I turned it and used it as the strength of my recovery. Today I'm very much a recovery savage. I'm here to pick people up instead of put them down. I'm the exact opposite of what I was whenever I got here. I'm way calmer. I think I'm way less ghetto sometimes. I'm a hype man about recovery now. I'm happy to be sober. I have 72 days today. Which is a big deal for me because last time I came I only had 36 and I went home, relapsed, which I think we all kind of have to go through that in order to get to where we're at now.
I always like to say that recovery is still a hustle. Recovery is a hustle, and you have to have 100% willingness. All the stuff that we did, all the resources that we used to, and all the creative ideas that we came up with on how to find money to get high. If we just apply a little bit of that same kind of willingness and that same kind of hustle, into our recovery, we will make it.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I know I said once that whenever I was out there in my addiction, I got it by any means. And so I know now, I literally, for my sobriety, I go through any means necessary to stay sober. With that, Evolutions is my fucking heart, literally. It's helped me gain my mind, body, and soul back. Whenever I got here, I didn't love myself. Today, I love myself so much, I'm full of myself. Me and my fiance came in together. We transferred out the day I graduated, and because I felt like I wasn't ready yet, and we went to a different recovery center. And I'm not gonna mention no names because that doesn't matter, but I'll tell you, 3 weeks after being there, we come crying and running back to Evolutions. The day we come back, I had a mental breakdown. We had been talking about going back home and selling again. We were going all the way backwards. Literally, I snapped my mind back into penitentiary rules are in full effect. And I learned here at Evolutions that when you talk jail talk, you talk use, you talk war talk, you're gonna go back to that lifestyle. You talk recovery, you talk freaking treatment and all that stuff, and that's what you're gonna live. You live literally what you speak. So, with that being said, whenever I snapped back into penitentiary rules, I was ready to go beat somebody up. Literally, and my fiance had to stop me, it was bad. But I went and sat down beside him and was crying, and I literally wrote down on a piece of paper, can we go back to Evolutions? When he had Leon on the phone and I found out he had Leon on the phone, bro, I was crying so hard because I was like, we just gotta get back. We gotta get back before we go home and use, because I guess we had to go through that bad experience with that other treatment center to realize just what Evolutions does for you. Evolutions is great. Evolutions team's great. Their therapists are great. Their techs are great. The people that they pull in to work are great. Most of the people here are straight out of recovery, or they've got a year or two more clean, so they know what we're going through. They know the battles of getting clean. They know the battles of getting your mind right. They know the battles of the emotional part, because I'm like I said, I'm 72 days clean. I'm just not getting my emotions back. I'm just not understanding my emotions. I'm just not understanding when I'm mad, when I'm sad, when I'm happy, because before I got here, I mixed them. When I got happy, I felt like I was mad. When I was mad, I felt like I was sad. I didn't know what the hell was going on in my head. So all of it together, I've learned so much here. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned how to be myself. I've learned the difference between self-care and self-isolation, which is a really big thing when you're coming out of addiction. Like, because we isolate ourselves and we don't realize that there's a difference between going in your room by yourself to reflect and going in your room by yourself to get away from everybody. Because you literally have to do the most uncomfortable things in order to change to get your life better. Literally, like I've had to do some of the most uncomfortable speakings. I've had to tell my story to people I wasn't ready to tell it to. But with that, I've grown. I've grown every step of the way, literally. Like I've learned what the means of the 12-step program are here, why you have to go through it. I've learned why it's good to be transparent, which is a really big thing. You have to be transparent in order to be able to grow. I've learned that it's all about your perspective of life, the way that you look at it. You know what I'm saying? I always say time is nothing but a schedule. Our opinions on ourselves change so much when you're 6 years old, when you're 8, when you're 12, 16, 20, 22, 24. Every time you ever look in the mirror at yourself, your thoughts change. The way that you feel about yourself, what you love about yourself, what you hate about yourself, it all changes. And in our addiction, it all pauses. You know what I mean? We fall in love with the skinny faces with no cheeks and stuff. I remember the day I called my mom, like literally, I haven't even told you about this. I remember the day I called my mom and was like, Mom, I've got dimples back. You know what I mean? And I was like, when you do meth so long, you forget that you have dimples. You forget your opinions on yourself. And like here, they teach you to remember all of this. They teach you how to remember it, how to cope with it. They teach you your toolboxes that you need in order to stay sober. In that other place that we were at, we didn't learn none of that. All we were doing was going backwards. All it was war stories. In process group, it was a house meeting where you was battling each other. Like literally, and you don't have none of that here. They actually care. Like literally, and it's like, this is home. Evolutions, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. This has become home, and y'all, I'm a little country girl from Jacksonville, Arkansas. So, I mean, I literally went from being a street savage to a recovery savage. And that's literally by any means necessary.
You know, like, when I think of a recovery savage, I kind of made that term up. I don't even know if it's an actual term, but like, it was always for me when I think of a recovery savage, I think of somebody like you, because you have so much willingness. I know that if anybody, in this program asks you, to do something that you don't want to do, it doesn't matter what you think about it. Like, you have that 100% willingness. You're all into it, and that's what I've always seen from you. And like, you are the perfect example of a recovery savage. And I had to get savage with my recovery too, and I still do, and that's how I managed to stay clean and be successful at what I do and enjoy life. And I encourage everybody to become recovery savages.
Oh my mama, do it. You know what I'm saying? Your experience, strength, and hope that you have in the streets, take it and turn it into your recovery. Everything that you hated in them streets, remember those feelings. Everything, when your first couple weeks in recovery or through your NA meetings and everything that makes you cry, every spiritual feeling that you get, take those memories and remember the feeling, because that's going to be in your toolbox. Like literally everything, by any means. They say the true definition of a hustler is 1,000,001 ways to hustle. I'm in recovery and I don't really hustle no more, but I do. Like, where I put everything into my hustling in the streets, I put all of that in my willingness here. Literally, everything that makes me uncomfortable. Somebody pisses me off, I sit down, I think on it, you know what I'm saying? And I know that we're all going through getting sober. So I take it and I learn from it, and then I'll go talk to them. I'll go sit them down and I'll have a big conversation with them, because there's something between us that pissed us both off. So there's got to be something there that can fix it. Literally. And I mean, it's hard. By far, it's not easy, but as long as I don't worry about tomorrow and I don't think about yesterday, I've got today. I learned here it's not the situations you go through that make you, but it's what you make out of them.
We're all very proud of you here, so just keep doing your thing, keep being recovery savage that you are.
Yes, sir.